there. So yeah, as you'll notice, quite a few of my videos lately are more law of attraction based. That's because I feel like I've finally found the missing pieces of how the sort of twin flame, soulmate, ultimate lover journey connects to law of attraction. So I mean, we're always attracting all of the time, but I think I needed to really work with like understanding a few more points before I really understood how it connected to the journey in full. So obviously we all know that, you know, the well, I shouldn't assume like that, but that the inner union is what reflects externally. And this everyone is you pushed out is really one of the final pieces of the puzzle for me that shows that they link together with all my beliefs. I also just taking ownership because I have felt this for a while, like this you are the creator of your reality experience. And I feel like sometimes I felt like law of attraction has made me not feel like that because I've been asking for things outside of myself. And something felt off about that. And also not doing like the real kind of shadow work and going within. And now I understand these deeper levels of everyone is you pushed out and the mirror work. I really now completely understand how I am constantly manifesting and I am completely the God and the creator of my experience and my reality in full. So I just wanted to share with you a few techniques that I've been doing lately that I have found really have worked and have helped me enormously in all areas of my life. Now, I have only really been doing them very recently. So, well, I've been manifesting all of my life, but I've been consciously manifesting on and off for like maybe for a while. But I really feel like now I have a practice that I'm seeing results and very quickly. I still have to maintain keeping to it because what I find that I do is I manifest, I get everything that I want, and then I stop manifesting, I get lost in the 3D situation of it, I start talking about the reality of the situation that I'm living in, I start writing stories for different characters in it or for my own life, and I'm like, oh yeah, this, you know, this person's doing this and that's because they do this and that's because they're here in their life and they don't want this. And then it sort of like starts to do this. And I feel like it's almost not till I've lost what I wanted that I then go, oh, I could go back to, you know, I lost myself again and I could go back to the beginning. But I feel like I'm built by doing this, I'm building so much trust in the process. And that's why a lot of people recommend doing and asking for little things that are really easy to manifest. And I think that is a really good idea because once you see evidence, it's so much more inspiring and encouraging to continue. So some of the things that I do, so one of the very first things I do is if something happens to me that I don't want to happen, I do two things. So I do the mirror work. So I say, it's so easy to talk about relationships. It's the easiest one. So this man's abandoned me. I have abandoned myself. You know, you acknowledge, you take ownership that you've abandoned yourself, and you look at that part within you and you ask it what it needs to feel wanted, to not feel abandoned. And then it might want to be sent love, it might need a hug or anything like that, and you just visualize sending that. I also find it really helpful to then get to go really deep with that as well, and that's where it's amazing to have a circle of friends that are on the same journey as you, whether they're online or in person. When I did the mirror work with my friend, I went so much deeper than I would on my own, because whereas I might leave it at abandonment, when we work together, then it's like, well, how does abandon make you feel? I don't have abandonment, by the way. Well, we all have it to a degree, but I have much more significant other ones. I just use examples that are not necessarily mine. So the abandonment might actually lead down to that you didn't feel like you were a priority, or you didn't feel you were special enough. And generally the layers go down and down and down. And that's why it's really good to work with a friend who's on the same journey as you. So after I've done that and I've understood what part of that part of myself, I take ownership and I accept that I have created that experience. And that to me is step one with any manifesting, is something happens you don't like. I created that. I created that stuff I didn't want to happen. And as soon as you say that, then you know that you can uncreate it as well. So as easily, sorry, I forgot to turn this off. So as easy as you created it, you can uncreate it. So that's powerful. That's actually empowering. And once you start doing that, you don't have the same emotional sadness that you used to when you lost something that you wanted and you felt like it was out of your control and you felt like you were a victim. Now you really have started to understand that you created that. And the empowering thing about that is if you can create something you didn't want, you can also create something you do want. And all you need to do is tell yourself a different story, do the healing, and apply some techniques that work for you. Now, I'm going to share some of the techniques that I've found have been working for me. And every time I do them, everything I want happens. I just need to learn to maintain them. So one of the first things I do after taking ownership and mirror work is I chant. I chant what I want. So say I lost my job, I chant that I have a job. If I feel like I've got no money, I chant, I'm so rich. And if I lost my boyfriend, you know, I'm married, I am with this person, or they love me. And this isn't even to manifest that stuff. This is just to get you out of desperation and feeling sad. Honestly, it works for me in like a day or two. I just chant it thousands and thousands of times. And if I'm in my car, I drive. This is honestly my number one tip. I don't know if anyone else does this, and probably people think I'm absolutely mental. If they watch this video, they'll now know why I do it. And I just chant like what over and over again to music. So I rewrite the lyrics of music and I chant over and over again exactly what I want instead of what I don't want. And this really, really works for me. I start giggling, I start laughing, the whole process becomes fun. I no longer feel like a victim, I no longer feel sad. And then that almost starts to run as a back program. Because I've chanted it so much, it almost overtakes the negative feelings. So that's just something that I do and I find really, really powerful. So yeah, if you're, you just lost, you know, you feel like you've now got no money, I am rich, but you really go with it, you know, like that's why I love doing it in the car, because there's just no limit to how loud you can sing, especially if you get on the motorway and you can just feel it and really go with it. And honestly, doing that for a few hours just totally knocks it out of me. And then after I've done those two things, I move on to my affirmations and intentions, which is kind of the same as what I'm chanting. And I do like to make them lighthearted. I like to do them to music, and I just like to laugh and giggle with it because it helps you let go of it so much easier. And then I do scripting and visualization. So scripting, I just sit down in the morning and I write myself a little paragraph of exactly how grateful I am for the things that I wanted that have already happened. Not the things I want, the things that have happened. So, I had the most amazing day in my job. Like, you know, say you wanted to work as a law of attraction coach. Like, I had so many clients today and they were amazing and we had some amazing sessions. And I'm so thankful that I have all these amazing clients. And when you write it, just really feel it. And the guy that you want to be with, you know, we had such an amazing day. It's amazing how much he wants to commit to me and share his life with me. And he took me out for coffee and it was lovely. And he bought me roses. And you really feel this as you write it. And I swear, if you do that regularly, like, it will really bring profound changes into your life. So then we move on to visualizations. Really good to do before bed, actually, before you sleep. because then you're going to sleep, so you're switching off your mind, so you go to bed with a really clean energy. But sometimes I love doing them if there's a certain song that I just really feel like I can go into. I can just do it sat at traffic. I shouldn't say. I can just do mini little visualizations throughout the day as well. And with visualization, it's really important. Two things is to live in the end and to do your visualizations in first person. So living in the end basically means you visualize the end scenario. So you visualize yourself in your home, in your dream home. You don't visualize yourself getting the job to buy your home or any of the steps on the way, because you're just sending out so many mixed signals, and then you'll just end up with one of the steps along the way, and sometimes they don't even go onto the full thing. So if there's a guy you want, you don't manifest the text or the date, because you just end up like with the text, you know, just go in for the end, the marriage, you know, or the sharing a house together, or the relationship, whatever you currently see as your end point, that's what you visualize. And I find it really important to be first person. So I've been watching a lot of other videos on this, and naturally I always do first person, but there's a lot of talk that if you go in as watching a movie, which some people do advise, that you run the risk of kind of manifesting being an observer of this happening for somebody else. So, you know, don't want to take any risks or anything like that. So best to always stick to you experiencing it. So you're first person. And I love something I heard where people set intentions too. So they'll say in these visions, you know, they'll command the other person to do something. I intend you to commit to me. I intend money to come to me. Very powerful. And that intention thing is really good as well. If you're out and about and something happens to you that you don't want to happen, you can literally say it instantly. And quite often it will just stop the situation in its tracks, and it will just change everything. Like I sometimes do it if I feel like I was in a gym class the other day and I started to feel nervous. It was some of my old childhood wounds of feeling like I wasn't part of the circle in this gym class, because they were all like, there was a group that were friends that I was with. And I started to get these old childhood fears of like, oh, you know, they are laughing at me and I'm not really part of this circle. And I just went in and I was like, I intend these people that I'm like working out with just to be really, really nice to me and really sweet to me. And the whole energy changed, because I was just starting to create from my childhood wounds. I was starting to manifest like a situation to happen, and I took control of it. I took it back and I intended for something different. Now, when it's a really, really heavy thing, it might not be that simple just to do one intention and it switches. But a lighter situation like that, I feel like I can change very quickly now. And then the final thing is, again, having a group of friends who are willing to work on this stuff with you is so important. So a lot of the time something happens in our life and we end up telling the story over and over again that we don't want. Like, oh, I'd love to do that, but I have no money. Like, I can't afford that. Oh, this guy left me. What a jerk. Like, what an idiot. You know, he just doesn't want to commit. He's a player. And then our friends back us up a lot of the time, and they're like, oh yeah, and they just feed into this story. So I think it's really important to have at least one friend or a small group of friends where you have like a dream group, right? You can have it on WhatsApp or Facebook or wherever you want to do it. And everybody talks in that chat about their day as if it's their dream day. So everything they want to happen only. No reality, unless it's great reality and some of your manifestations are happening, then it can go in that group. And this is so important to keep the story positive, because we do want to, you know, we're social, we want to communicate with other people, but a lot of the time that involves talking about things in a negative way. So I think it's really important to have like a couple of groups where you can focus on the dream situation. But then obviously then it's good to also have the chats where you can go deep with stuff and you can really be honest with yourself that what you're attracting isn't what you want. Why is that? And those conversations are also important. The conversations that are just a waste of everyone's time, and we've all engaged with them loads, is just endlessly projecting and blaming other people for why you're not happy and why you don't have everything you want to have. That for me is literally the biggest life changer of the whole journey, and taking full responsibility. And I find that it's very easy to take responsibility for some stuff, but when it comes to blaming somebody else or getting angry with somebody, it's so difficult to be like, oh, yeah, they're mirroring my fears. And my, like, once you kind of understand more that everyone is you pushed out, it is the biggest life changer. And once you apply it, you will start to get evidence to the point where you can no longer refute that that is what happens in your life. And the same with these manifestations. Like, that's why people say to start off manifesting small things, because once you start to see the things that you're manifesting happen, then it gives you like ultimate confidence that you can have everything you want. Like, I've noticed that over the last year, and even more so when you manifest and you get everything that you want, then you like stop or you get lost in a 3D and you lose it. Like, in a way, that was a really good test for me, because it really, really showed me like certain things that I was doing and how they were having such a positive effect, and then vice versa. So, I mean, you need to apply that into your own life, is like testing things like that, and it will give you a lot more confidence that things work, the belief will go higher. So I hope some of these techniques work for you. I mean, we all have to build our own little ways of working, but these are the things that I do that I have noticed a massive change from doing. So I hope they help you. All right, have a good day. Bye bye.